You beautiful peeps, daily vlogs. So we main stage EDC episode 35, I believe. Guys, just listened to a great pod. I want to share some thoughts about it. But first off, a lot of wins lately. Thank you for the constant support. I gotta check streams, but I believe we crossed 75,000 streams all time across all streaming platforms since my first song dropped, Not the Same, in March 2023, I think. Or maybe it was later in 2023, but that's incredible, guys. I'm so incredibly grateful, and I'm gassed and winded and tired and exhausted because I just left the gym, and it's just been a long day, but I'm so grateful because we're approaching on 100,000 streams. Like, that's wild, and I'm not slowing down. We're not slowing down, guys. We're only going harder. I'm officially halfway. How many songs do I have? I'm almost halfway done with the album. I have 4 songs. The album, I'm pretty sure, is going to be 10 songs. 10 special, meaningful songs. The most meaningful songs I've ever made. I made my favorite song ever yesterday. My favorite song ever yesterday. And I don't say that often. If you've watched all 35 of these vlogs, I don't think you've heard me say that one time. Because I think the last time I felt that was I Still Feel You. And that, you know, it's at like 23,000 streams. That blew up everything for us to the level we're at now. And so I started the vlogs after that. So you haven't even heard me say that. I do not say that often. And yesterday I made my favorite song I've ever made. And that'll be the 3rd song on the album. Maybe 2nd. But I have the intro. I wrote it as the intro. So that's not going to move. But then the 2nd or 3rd are up for debate. Because my favorite one I just made was yesterday. That will be 2nd or 3rd. Yeah, and so I'm feeling great about it. I'm excited to receive the support as well, more than all that you've already poured into me with comments and pre-save and where's the link and like, can I get it early, and all the amazing comments every time I've posted a snippet. Thank you. I'm really excited to get up on even and for you to be able to pay whatever you want for it early, to support me directly, like, you know, Russell and J. Cole and a lot of artists are doing now. And I'm just so excited. So hopefully you guys can hear me. I'm probably a little quieter today because I'm just exhausted. But yeah, guys, I want to share some thoughts on a pod I just watched, because it was really impactful. And it was all about beliefs. It was Cody Sanchez and this guy named Nair, N-I-R, and then space, last name Y-A-L, Nair Yal, something like that. Incredible individual. And he was sharing all about beliefs. And I've heard him on a pod before. I just never mentioned it. And this pod hit me even harder because he's speaking into how beliefs are not truths, right? And obviously they're formed from our experiences in which are out of our control, like our childhood, right? We don't choose our parents. We don't choose where we're born in the world. We don't choose the language we speak. We don't choose anything. And all of that is what forms our beliefs, right? And at some point we come into adulthood, and some people do the self-work, right, to be able to look at their beliefs and question, you know, what is actually helping me and hurting me, so on and so forth. Other people go their entire life without ever questioning their beliefs or thinking about their beliefs, right? And so he's just getting into this realm of belief and how it affects what we see, what we feel, and what we do. Now, obviously, there's the classic tropes of, you know, the man who thinks he can and the man who thinks he can't are both right. Right. And you're more likely to achieve something if you think you can, as opposed to if you think you can't. Obviously. Right. We know those. Everybody knows those. They're cliche. They're cliche because they're true. But it's very, very simple. He's going into like calculus 303 level of belief analysis. And he shared these really powerful studies about how, even this one I've heard from other places, so maybe you've heard this one, but the rats swimming study, where there's 2 rats, or excuse me, there's 1 rat drops in water, and it is a unethical study. They don't do these anymore, but the rats are dead, so we can learn from them. They're already dead, so we can learn from them. Drop a rat in the water, and a rat on average swims about 15 minutes before it drowns. Now drop a new rat in the water, grab the rat out at the 14-minute mark, drop it back, let it rest, and then drop it back in the water. That same rat with the same swimming capacity of all rats, which is about 15 minutes, now has learned hope, right? Their beliefs have changed. They have evidence that says, I might be saved. How incredible would it be if that same rat were to swim twice as long, 3 times as long, 4 times as long. That would be incredible. Imagine, for any of us that run or don't run, right? Imagine, especially for those of us that don't run, right? Imagine if, we know 1 mile would be like, oh, that sounds horrible. And all of a sudden we run 4 miles, right? In the same level of exhaustion. That's superpower, right? It's unbelievable just because our mind, right? It's incredible. And okay, so 15 minutes, right? Taken, drop back in. With the learned belief, it's not a fact. The belief, the physical didn't change. In fact, he's more tired because he's exhausted from the first 14-minute swim. The rat goes on to swim not 2, 3, 4 times longer. 4 times longer would be 60 minutes, going from 15 minutes to 60 minutes. That would be incredible. The rat doesn't swim 60 minutes. The rat swims 60 hours. So that's not 4 times longer. That's 240 times longer. The rat goes from swimming 15 minutes and dying, right? Which is what it was supposed to do based on its biology. And now because of the mind, the psychology, and the belief that it can be saved because it was once, believes it can be saved again, the rat swims 60 hours, right? And obviously rats are tested in humans in many ways because they're so different, but of course they're also so similar in some ways. And so it's no different with humans. Beliefs show us what we can and can't do. Beliefs show us, why we feel what we feel, why we see what we see. He also showed these incredible illustrations and studies where, for example, people self-identified as an optimist or a pessimist, right? And the optimists and the pessimists that were in a room, they were given a newspaper and they were asked to measure how many pictures are in the newspaper, right? And so the newspaper had 43 pictures from start to finish. That's a fact. That's what it was. The optimists that self-identified in being lucky and other questions that made it clear that, after the survey, this person is a optimistic, positive person. They go through the newspaper, and on the second page, and they all had the same newspaper. On the second page, it said, this newspaper has 43 pictures. If you saw this, right, you're lucky or you're welcome, something like that, go collect your prize, right? So it's like, if you caught this, right, you won. Like, good luck. Like, here's the secret, right? Good news. Go collect your prize. It's huge. On the second newspaper, this thing has 43 pictures. Go collect your prize. Congrats if you saw this, right? The optimists, on average, got out of there in 11 seconds. Why? Because they're flipping through the paper and they made it maybe through one page. They go to the second, 43, I'm gone, right? And they collect their prize because they did have 43. It wasn't a joke, or it wasn't trying to throw them off. It was the truth. The pessimists, on average, took 2 minutes and 40 seconds. They either they didn't read that piece, right? They just counted the picture and moved on. Or they read it, right, and didn't believe it. Why? Because they're pessimist. They're pessimistic. They're trying to find holes. They're going, well, no way I can be this lucky. I know this is a scam. So then they take 2 minutes and 40 seconds on average compared to 11 seconds. So however much longer that is, right? Dozens of times longer. I think that's right. Don't do public math. To make sure. And even when they count 43, they still don't believe it. So they're going back, right? That can't be right. I'm getting tricked somehow, right? The universe is out to get me, right? So, and it's funny because this is what people really say and think is what I've thought it sometimes. It's probably what you've thought in certain moments. And so this is an amazing part about belief. So hopefully that's helpful or interesting to you. Hopefully you get some thoughts flowing, because it definitely got some thoughts flowing for me. It is a absolute sauna in here right now. Jeez Louise. Let me get some air in here. Holy moly. Hopefully that's helpful or interesting to you, because hopefully it's not too loud with the car running. Actually, let me turn it off. There we go. Hopefully that's helpful or interesting to you, because I don't want anybody to hear me. Because it was helpful and interesting to me, because it got a bunch of thoughts flowing. Like, here's some questions for you to answer, and comment, DM, hit me on these, because I'm so curious. What are limiting beliefs right now that, if you are being honest with yourself, you're going, I believe this, I've told this to myself, maybe I've even said it out loud to other people, and it's holding me back. It's a lie. It's not true, right? Or what situations has a belief that can be positive in other situations, and what situations has a belief hurt you, even though it's a belief you still have, right? Because beliefs are situational, right? The belief that, There's many examples, so I'll save the time of going through different examples, but you know what I mean, right? The same belief can be pretty much entirely negative and never really helps you, but other beliefs can be positive in certain situations, negative in certain situations. So I'm curious, what are your limiting beliefs? What beliefs are you trying to break through, right? What beliefs are holding you back, and how? What situations do certain beliefs help you and not? I'm so curious. So comment and DM and hit me. I'd love to have that conversation. Again, that pod was Cody Sanchez with Nair Yal, Nir space YAL, I believe. I know his first name is Nair, Nir, or Near. But amazing pod. That's what I'm thinking about today, guys. Banging out these daily vlogs. I'm really trying to stay on the daily, trying to give you what's on my mind, let's go wins and updates. Let's keep building momentum. That's what I'm trying to do with these. I'm so grateful for you supporting. So that rounds it out, guys. Love you. Have the best weekend ever. Hope you're partying tonight because it's Saturday when I film this. And we'll catch you in the next one. Let's go.